Welcome to another Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. Each week we have various organizations come in and tell us what's going on around the broadcast area, and we do appreciate all the organizations. They do so much for our communities that we broadcast into. Stay with us, be back in a moment. Our first guest has been with us before. It's been a little while, but it's a very important program here in the Harrison area and also expanding out into other counties. Stay with us.
From unique outfits to reading books, Shelby's has everything for giving the best baby gifts, including free gift wrapping. Check out our in-store baby registry for ease in gift giving and gift getting. All you have to do is stop by, let us arrange a table for everyone to shop from your registry. Call the store anytime for details or to order over the phone. We ship and deliver locally. Shop Shelby's for gifts that are beautifully wrapped and thoughtfully given.
Many things have changed over the years, and so has auto body repair. Even though Ozark Auto Body has been in business for over 30 years, they continue to change with the times. They believe protecting the environment is important and have done so by using environmentally friendly waterborne paint from PPG. This aligns with the technology used by original manufacturers and gives you a lifetime limited warranty. Quality PPG waterborne paint, ASC certified personnel, plus 24-hour towing service. Ozark Auto Body in Harrison, always taking pride in excellence.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first guest in the studios comes to see us quite often. It's Cody Tatum from Grandma's House. Cody, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come in to visit with us.
Always, I love being here. So.
Thank you so much. We've talked a lot through the years, and actually I always like to kind of reminisce back to the beginning of Grandma's House when Michelle Steiner, who's the director, first came in and did an interview with us and said, here's what we're going to be doing, and we've got a little house over here and we're going to turn it into this type of facility. And at that time, I think it was just maybe Michelle and maybe one other person.
A couple cats too.
A couple of cats. They've come along. Now it's cats and dogs. They've come a long way since then. But it's a good program. I always like for you to give me just a quick overview. Somebody may be watching, they say, well, I don't know what Grandma's House is.
Sure. Well, Grandma's House, we're a nonprofit organization, a children's advocacy center. So one of about 15 or 16 in the state now. We're all independently owned and operated and everything like that. But what we do is we try to provide a holistic approach to child abuse investigations and really kind of facilitating that process, which is inherently just not very child-friendly or family-friendly. Right. Make it that way as much as possible, and then really step in and follow that family with support services on the back end, kind of taking them from that very first, day of that process starting until, they don't need us anymore, which is always a great day.
We also, each time we visit, I asked you this and say, well, are the numbers continuing to grow? And then in this particular situation, people probably say, well, we don't want the numbers to grow, but you really do, because that means that people are aware and they're reporting things that they didn't used to do.
Absolutely. So, we know that about 1 in 3 kids actually come forward when there's abuse. And so, like you said, we've really upped our chance to do prevention education and really letting the community know more about this. It thrives in darkness, and when we can kind of take that darkness away, it really helps out. So, in 2017, we saw 311 kids. 2018, we saw, I think, 424. So it's a substantial jump, but I do think that a lot of that is that kids are better able to come forward, they're better understanding, and they have great support in their schools and other systems that they're in who really know how to help them. Yeah. And that's been a great benefit.
You've touched on something there, Cody, about the schools, and I know you've been on a major campaign over the last year or so, going out, talking to students and getting into schools and working with the counselors and the SROs and getting them to be more aware.
Absolutely.
Because they're there every day. You can't be there, obviously, all
Absolutely.
the time.
And that's what I tell them when I go and teach them. I say, the unfortunate reality for some kids, homes lives are, not as good as we'd hope they would be.
Yeah.
And so, some of these educators are really maybe the best influences those kids are going to see. And like you said, they're with them 40 hours a week,
Yes.
or more. So I think it's very important. I think they've really bought in, and I've seen these school systems really rally to that cause and really step up. Of course, I always tell them, I assume you teach because you like kids in general,
Yes.
but then, taking that extra step to educate themselves on really what they can do to be that difference.
Another protector, if you will, of those
Absolutely.
kids. I mean, you're right. For many kids, particularly in low-income families or broken families, the school teachers and the counselors and administrators, if you will, in the school districts, they're actually more probably a father or a mother figure than the kids are getting at home.
Right.
May not even have a home, so obviously. We want to touch on a few other things you're obviously doing. Your Carroll County facility, we always kind of upgrade. Is it full blown now?
Full blown, yeah. We're very, very proud of that. We cover 7 counties now, Dennis, and it used to be 6. We've picked up Searcy County recently. So, I want every kid, no matter how big the area they live in, to get the same access to services. And that's something that's very important to me, and it's important to me because it's always been important to Michelle.
Yeah.
And so we've really expanded that center to be fully functioning just the same way here. So, now that we're there and fully established, it's saving a lot of burden for these families. It's already a tremendous amount when this process starts. So being able to do that locally and not burden them anymore has been fantastic.
I would also think that, Cody, that, perhaps like smaller school districts, outlying school districts, they don't have the resources that the bigger school systems have. So they probably need you even more.
Right.
Even though their numbers are smaller, percentages may be higher in some of those smaller schools because they don't have, a lot of them don't have resource officers, some of them don't even have a counselor. They got teachers, obviously, but they don't have the backup support that's necessary sometimes.
Absolutely. And that's definitely a struggle that we fight a lot, trying to make sure that we can get these kids into the services and support stuff that they need when it's limited, by the area. So we work great, and I mean fantastic with our community partners to really kind of try to meet those needs. But it's something that we're always working on, bettering ourselves, bettering our response, bettering what we are able to provide access to. And I think we've done well with that, and I think we're going to continue to go forward.
Well, I can say you've done a tremendous job with the resources that you have, and they are a nonprofit organization, and they've touched a lot of lives already through the years that they've been in operation, and they'll do a lot more, and I'm sure continue to expand and so forth. April's kind of a special month for you and for a lot of organizations. Talk a little bit about April awareness and so forth.
Yeah, so April is Child Abuse and Awareness Month. So a lot of different stuff going on this month, and really just kind of our chance to settle in and really kind of push our message, and people who aren't aware of us, to get them more aware. I think that every time someone, even watching the program, learns about what we are, I think it makes the community safer. And just a touch.
Yes.
The more we know about it, the better we're going to be able to respond and protect the kids. So this is kind of a big month for us in that realm. The First Lady of Arkansas and the governor just signed a bill. I think April 11th is Children's Advocacy Center Day. So I can't say enough about the First Lady of Arkansas. This has kind of been one of her missions since she's been in that role, to kind of bolster our cause, and she's really a huge advocate for us. And so April 8th actually is going to be in Boone County, the Victims of Crime Week. The prosecutor's office and a couple other organizations are putting on a little thing at the park here, at the square. So same thing is going to be in Mountain Home on Friday the 12th. So just kind of come out, show support for our victims of crime, and just kind of rally together on that.
Yeah, something also that the viewing audience may be not aware of. I mean, there's a lot of different organizations that are out there, state, federal, etc. And Grandma's House, I know you interact with a lot of those organizations. In fact, probably get information from like state police and so forth like that. But it's good when you can close the circle, so
Absolutely.
to speak, with those.
Absolutely. Those investigators have their job, and that's certainly not my role. I'm very thankful for that.
Right.
But it's all a piece of the puzzle, I think. And, the end goal here is we want to take care of this issue in a way that's best for that child. Yes. And so if we can all work together that way, which I can't say enough about the teams that I work with, I'm convinced they're some of the best in the world. I think we do an excellent job of that. I think having people in those professions that truly care about this, makes my job easy, yes. Because then I just do what I know to do, and with their support and with their, their backup and everything. So, yeah, the agencies we work with are fantastic.
Staffing, kind of, where are you? I know you've grown from nothing, one person, to where are you kind of staffing-wise now?
Yeah, so, myself and Michelle, of course, are still there.
Right.
Brittany Brown is still with us. And we have, since I think the last time we met, we have Lacey Stowe, who's joined us, Danae Stevens, and Laura Stevens.
Oh, wow.
So, not related. Spelled different. I got to make sure I say that. But, yeah, so Laura's actually kind of stepped in, and she's going to be helping and kind of taking the prevention education side of this. So her and I work together very well, and have a long history with her. I think she's wonderful, and as are all the girls. They've really stepped in and just kind of ran with this, and it's amazing. Something, I've been at this a little while now, and something I really care about, and to see someone else kind of get that invested and run with it, it's amazing to see, and it really just kind of relights your own fire with that kind of stuff.
Are you staffing Carroll County with other individuals, or do you go up there?
Yeah, we travel between, so we're just kind of back and forth between there and everything. So makes a crazy days sometimes, but we make it work for sure.
Had to ask Cody if he'd come in and be on the show today. We normally do at 11. He said, I got a lot of stuff going on today, so I said, how about 9?
And you were tremendously accommodating to me, and well, I appreciate it.
I wanted to have you in here. Got a couple minutes. It's down the road, and we'll have you back before then. Are you going to do your color run and again this year?
We are. Yeah, we're having way too much fun doing that, so we're gonna keep on with that. So June 1st this year, and it's at the Anstaff Soccer Complex here in Harrison. So if you've never been to one of these, that's fantastic. You will not leave clean. But you will be bright. So, it's a fun run walk. So, I'm not sure fun and run go together, but the walk part, I could probably handle that. So, they throw the colored powder, and it's really a fun thing to do. So
I did go to it once, and it was wild.
It's a lot of fun. So if you're people that are interested, you can go to our website at grandmasHouseCAC.com.
Okay.
Or just Google Grandma's House, and we'll come up there.
It'll come up.
You can register for that and kind of see what's going on with it. We'll have T-shirts and everything like that. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun and a good fundraiser for Grandma's House. They do a fantastic job. Cody, thank you for taking time out today. I really appreciate it. I know you're a very busy guy, but I always like to get Cody and his people to come in every once in a while to kind of update everybody on just what Grandma's House is all about and the importance it is for these children and the many lives that they touch and what a fantastic job they do. I admire you for what you do. I really do. Sir. Thanks for coming in. Don't forget the color run coming up June 1st. It's a lot of fun. You can help them out a lot. And also don't forget about April being Child Abuse Awareness Month. And we really need to be aware of that and anything we can do to help make it a better situation out there, just like they do at Grandma's House. Good to see you, Cody.
You too.
Keep up the good work, and we'll have you back again before the fun run. We'll have you back in and
that sounds like
talk
a plan.
To you again. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We got another gentleman. We're going to talk about a program that's been going for some time. It's just now getting really rolling, and it's the Hope Cottages. Stay with us.
Sullivan Pharmacy has been serving your prescription needs for over 40 years. Our professional staff is glad to assist you with prescriptions, over-the-counter medicines, and healthcare products. Stop by Sullivan Pharmacy if you have questions about Medicare Part D, and we'll be glad to help. If you're in a hurry, use our convenient drive-through window so you don't have to get out of your car. Sullivan Pharmacy, 731 North Main Street in Harrison, helping you feel better since 1965.
Stop in at White Oak Station on Capps Road in Harrison and fill up with Shell gasoline, the highest quality gasoline with more miles per gallon, saving you money. Sign up for the Fuel Rewards card and save 5 cents per gallon every time. Plus, get an extra 5 cents off on Razorback Wednesdays. That's a savings of 10 cents per gallon. Check out their expanded deli and hot and cold food items. Caps Road, White Oak Station, where customer service is their #1 goal.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television, Dennis King. Thanks for joining us on the Connection show this week. Our next guest in the studio comes to see us quite often and has through the years kept us updated on what was going on at House of Hope, and then after House of Hope, Hope Cottages, and that's really what we're going to talk about today. Bill Knight. Bill, thank you for taking time out to come in.
Well, thank you for letting me come.
It's always a pleasure having you come in.
Thank you.
Hope Cottages, gosh, it seems like it's been forever, but I guess the inception was how many years back?
Yeah, it was 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Time passes so fast. You have come a long way and put a lot of hard work personally and several other people into this project for the community, which is really, truly a community project. It's something that the community and surrounding area should be very proud of because it's much needed, and it has to do with the transitional housing for women and children that are homeless, that need a place to stay, kind of get on their feet. It's not a long-term facility, hopefully 90 days or less, and they have finally got the cottages, the first phase, we'll call it, finished and actually have residents now.
Yes, we do. We have 2 residents, and we're so excited to have them there. And then we have 2 more that we're going to be looking at and possibly interviewing them next week.
Okay. So tell, just for the viewing audience, a little bit. You took the facility that was obviously not even close to being what it needed to be, spent a lot of money, a lot of time, construction and city codes you had to meet and security needs and so on and so forth. So kind of walk us through just a little bit, I mean, where you are. The 5 cottages are finished. Are they self-sustaining? Or maybe tell a little bit about the cottages, right, and their security and so forth.
Okay, yes. The 5 are done. They're furnished. And you know, they have a microwave and a mini fridge, things like that in there to help the moms.
Okay.
Security system is up and running, so we can see anytime, you know, somebody would come in and out because it's being recorded.
Yes.
So we have all that, and we felt that was really important, not only for the security of the residents inside, but also to provide some safety and assurance that the people who are inside, that they do feel safe.
Yes.
And that was a very, very big thing for us.
Right.
And it's working well.
The cottages, so to speak, are they 2-room, 1-room? How are they set up? I mean, and how many people can actually stay in each one?
Right. Well, they can. Most of them have like 3 beds. Some of them are large enough. I think we can get 4 beds in there.
Okay.
It's a large room.
Okay.
You know, think of it as a decent sized motel room. With the kind of kitchenette area, the refrigerator and the sink and things like that on one end, and they have a TV and TV and DVD so that they can watch, you know, Netflix movies or anything if they're signed up for that. And then of course there's a shower and a toilet there. So
each one has that.
Yes, each one. So they're kind of self-sustaining there. As far as food, House of Hope provides the food. Along with simply volunteers and sponsors who want to help as well. We're doing that right now until we actually get our kitchen up and going, because right now we don't have the funds yet. But it seems to be working out. You know, we're getting into that rhythm now, because it's always, you know, startup is always a treat.
Yeah.
So it's working out well. St. John's Episcopal, of course, is right there every Wednesday night. They offer their free meals to anyone who wants to come, and so our residents can go up there and eat as well.
Wow. So the residents that are currently staying there, like, are you using, or do you have a staff that's there all the time at the cottages, or are you still kind of liaison between House of Hope and there, and how's that working?
Well, right now we are working to have somebody up there all the time. We're finding that that's very helpful, and I have to make a plug for my wife because she's the volunteer coordinator, and so she and Jean Hankins are the ones that have been up, actually kind of running that office up there all the time.
Okay.
And so that like I said, that really seems to be helping
a lot there. Yeah. So these residents that you currently have there, I noticed you got it turned out really nice too. I like your big white fence around it. So do they have a card key, or how do they go?
They do. It's like a motel key.
Okay.
And so it's not a push. It's actually you just put it up and it reads it and registers it and unlocks the gate, and it will unlock their room.
Okay.
So everybody has the same. Well, the key cards are individual to the user.
Okay.
So some have master keys, can get into anything. The residents have a key that gets gets inside the gate and into their room.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So eventually I call it the hall, I guess the big hall area. What is the plan for that?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's done.
Oh, you do have that
is
finished?
that is open. That
Okay.
is it's available. So if we were to have, let's just say we're going to have this big budgeting class, and we want to bring everybody together, we would bring everybody together that way.
Okay.
And just have the class there.
At this point in time, and I know it's early on, but since this is a transitional facility, and obviously you want to get these moms on their feet and help them find a job maybe, or whatever, a permanent place to be, government subsidies and so forth. Who is dealing with that? Is that your wife and somebody there, or do they go to the House of Hope and work with the people down there?
That's actually House of Hope,
Okay.
because they are actually doing the case management for the mom.
Okay.
Shirley Smothers, who's the homeless liaison for the school district, she's taking care of the children.
Okay.
So we're helping them with that, and actually our first resident was able to get a job she's got a job within a week.
Wow.
And so we're working through that, because sometimes her hours are later in the day, so daycare can be a challenge sometimes, but so far our volunteers have been wonderful, and we've been able to provide her with daycare so she can go to that job.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah.
That's fast. Boy,
Yes, yes.
you hope everybody gets to do that.
Yes.
You know, and the other thing about the Hope Cottages, or I would assume, is that once they get a job, just like this individual, and then they start moving forward to get information with your caseworkers at the House of Hope. There's also opportunities through HUD and different where you can help them get their own place once they've got some income coming in.
Right. As a matter of fact, the first one has actually talked about that she would really like to go to a bank, get a checking account open, maybe a savings account. So, that's really good, because she may not have been thinking that, 3 weeks ago. Sure. But now she is. She has already applied for down at Harrison Housing and Northwest Regional for housing. So yes, when they're done, they may leave and they may be on Section 8 housing.
Sure.
But the thing is but they do have a place, and they are trying, and that's the main thing, is having them try, because that means they have hope, and hope is extremely powerful. So if they have that hope, and they have that desire to better themselves, not only for them but for their family, their children, that's just going to make their lives much more productive. They're going to be happier people, just because, they'll be like you and me.
Right.
We have jobs, and we earn our own way, and they will be in that position too.
Yeah. The pride factor has a lot to do with people's self-esteem. If you have no pride, no self-esteem, you think you're going to be in the hole the rest of your life, and nobody's there to stick a hand out and say, hey, let's help you get it going. Now, you've got to do it, but we'll help you. And that's really what you're doing. You're giving them that first step to have a place where they're not homeless, to take care of their children, to find a job, to get into a housing program where they've got their own place, maybe apartment or whatever, but their own place that's safe, and then they can work and do and help themselves. And once, you know, a lot of people, I must say, some people just want a free ride. Unfortunately, we know that.
Yes.
But majority of people really, if you give them a little bit of chance, most of them will take that and they'll use that as a growing side of their personal life. You know?
Right.
And,
right.
and that's what I like about your program there. Is
right. And that's one thing, when you want to be a volunteer, you go through these 2 training sessions, and one of them Shirley Smothers puts out, and it talks about generational poverty and situational poverty and what that means and how that looks to that person.
Right.
And a lot of it goes back to that hope.
Oh yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you know, the first thing you hear is that nobody cares. And that's huge, because you know as well as I do, if something happened and nobody cares,
Nobody,
that's extremely hurtful. Then you get resentful,
Yeah.
you get angry. So, you know, once you understand that, then I think you're in a better position to actually help them. Not that you may not have ever been in that way, but at least you can understand them, so you can better help them.
We've only got, I could probably stay here and talk to you for an hour, but we've only got a few minutes left. If somebody is watching the show and they see our interview here, and they know of somebody that would they go to the House of Hope and or tell them, I mean, go to the House of Hope? That's where it all kind of gets started, right?
That's correct. They start at House of Hope, so they would come down, and you know, they could come down. Some of them have already said, hey, can I get an application for Hope Cottages? Okay. Or they may come down and just through the intake process with that person, the caseworker might say, hey, this might be a good candidate.
Right. Well, that's good.
And so that's kind of how it all starts. It starts there. Then if it kind of passes muster with the House of Hope case manager, and that muster includes things like a background check, drug test, is part of that. And if all that works out, and their position or their opinion is that they would work out, then that documentation goes up to this House Hope Cottages Steering Committee. Steering Committee reviews that application and decides whether or not they actually want to interview her. Okay. If we do, then we bring her in and we have as much as probably an hour-long discussion with her. After that, then the Steering Committee decides whether or not we feel she would be a good fit into Hope Cottages. And then after that, then House of Hope then picks back up again, finalizes things, makes sure that it still looks good. Yeah. And then once all that's done, we get her in.
Well, I'm sure glad you got it going. I've followed your projects from the beginning, and like I say, so many people were involved in this. Bill was instrumental in being right in the groundbreaking part of it and getting it going, and much appreciation to you, Bill, and all the volunteers, Shirley, and all the individuals that were involved in this from the beginning. You've got it going. Still need help, still need money to keep it going. But if you know of somebody, have them go down to the House of Hope. We've run out of time, so I can't go any further, but go down there. It could be something that would help them at least get on their feet. Hope Cottages, there's always hope. Bill, thank you so much for coming in. Good luck, and we'll have you back soon for an update.
Great. Thank you, Dennis.
Thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope we got information to you didn't know about.
Stop in at White Oak Station on Capps Road in Harrison and fill up with Shell gasoline, the highest quality gasoline with more miles per gallon, saving you money. Sign up for the Fuel Rewards card and save 5 cents per gallon every time. Plus, get an extra 5 cents off on Razorback Wednesdays. That's a savings of 10 cents per gallon. Check out their expanded deli and hot and cold food items. Capps Road, White Oak Station, where customer service is their #1 goal.